And now it's time for the top 10 worst WWE World Champions of all time. Number 10, Roman Reigns. He's had 2 title reigns. One lasted 5 minutes 15 seconds. One lasted a little bit over a month. It's too soon. He's just not ready. He needs a lot more time before he should become WWE Champion for a long period of time. He's just not ready. Number 9, Alberto Del Rio. When Alberto Del Rio left WWE a couple years ago, a lot of people started to say, you know what, Alberto Del Rio is really great. He's fantastic. You know, he's actually great. As WWE Champion, as World Champion, people were just, a lot of people really didn't care for him. Some people, there was a few people, a small contingent of people, but a lot of people really didn't care for him, and his title reigns sucked. They were terrible title reigns. Now, given the WWE title reigns were short, it's just, he just doesn't have, there's something about him. He's like the Mexican Randy Orton. He just has this sort of blandness about him. Number 8, John Cena. John Cena, you know, when you got a guy out there who's going out there every week, getting booed, but at the same time, he's making money for WWE. But if he was a heel, when he had the title, it would have been so much better, getting booed as a heel. But instead, he's winning these titles and getting booed every time he wins them. You know, it's not good. It's not good. And he having the title as many times as he's had, that's the main reason why he's on this list. Why John Cena is a 15-time or 16-time, whatever the heck he is at this point, champion, is just sickening to me that he's won it that many times. He is definitely one of the worst because he's had it so many times. If he had it only once or twice, he wouldn't be on this list. But having it that many times, that's just too many. Number 7, The Big Show. Big Show, he has some charisma, he has some personality, but 99% of the time when he wrestles, he sucks. He's terrible in the ring. And plus, he's been babyface and a heel. He's changed so many times, babyface to heel to babyface. It's been constantly. A couple years ago, he was world champion on SmackDown. It's SmackDown, so it's not as big of a deal. But he just shouldn't be world champion. He's just not. He's just not world championship material because of not being able to have great matches and the constant switching from babyface to heel and back and forth. It's not good. Number 6, Seth Rollins. Now, this one is going to be a very controversial choice. He's just not ready to be WWE Champion. He just isn't ready for it. He doesn't have the promo ability to be a long-term champion. Now, Roman Reigns doesn't have that either, and we're going to find that out once he wins that world title. He's going to hold it probably for a very long time, and he's going to be cutting a lot of promos. It's not going to be as bad as Seth Rollins, only because Seth Rollins would talk and talk and talk constantly for 10, 15, 20 minutes at a time. And I understand that was a part of his gimmick, that he would be this heel who just talk and talk and talk. But when the ratings start to plummet, that says to me that it's not good. It's not best for business. His wrestling ability is fantastic, but he just doesn't have the promo ability, and he's missing a little bit of the it factor as well. But maybe eventually, once he turns babyface, maybe he'll be a great babyface promo. We'll find out. Number 5, Sheamus. Sheamus, what is there to be said about Sheamus? Sheamus, I don't know. I never liked him. I never saw anything in him, really. He's not the worst wrestler in the world, but I just never liked him. His promos kind of suck. And his wrestling ability is B-. Number 4, JBL. This was almost like a joke when JBL was champion. His promos are great, but his wrestling ability, 99% of the time, sucks. Look, he was in WWE for a long time. You could say, well, he deserved it. He could say that, but he did not deserve to be champion for a year. He did not deserve to be champion for a year, even if it was on SmackDown. He should not have been a champion for a year. I had to sit through that for a year. I hated every single second of it, and it was terrible. As like a promo guy, if he just went out there every week and just cut a promo as like a manager or something like that, no problem. But as a wrestler, as a world champion, no. Number 3, The Miz. This one, I think, is an obvious choice. He just doesn't have the main event it factor. Some people like his promos. I don't like his promos. Some people like his wrestling. I don't like his wrestling ability. I don't think he's very good in the ring. He's like a mid-carder. He's like a mid-card geek. Number 2, Jack Swagger. Jack Swagger, at one time, people thought he could be a main eventer. He had the look, he had the size, he had the wrestling ability, but he just, like The Miz, comes off like a mid-card geek. You know, he comes off like just a jobber to a degree. And maybe it was just too soon as well. They should have waited a couple more years to put the title on him. It was too soon, and in those SmackDowns where he was champion, man, those were terrible. And don't get me wrong, he was booked poorly. He was booked very, very poorly at the time as well, so that did not help things either. Number 1, the Great Khali. I know in India, the Great Khali is very popular, but let's be serious here. He is terrible. He can't wrestle. He can't talk. He can talk. It's funny, but he can't cut a real promo. You know, he can barely speak. He can't even really speak English at all. So, you know, he sucks. He was terrible. He was a terrible world champion. He was terrible. He sucked. It goes without saying. The Great Khali is the worst world heavyweight champion of all time. No doubt about it.